Gosh, what a job to get that PS5 turned off. It didn't seem to want to do it. I know for a lot of things I still like the PS4, but having played it a couple of days ago, I suddenly could see how slow it was for some things. But it's like all of these consoles, they just go up and up and up with their bits that they can do. But at least we've got a nice sunny day today. It's a bit windy. If you can see the tree through the window behind me there. We've got all the light bulbs on it because they light up at night. And what we really should do, I think, is start to think about taking them off for the winter. I mean, those there at the moment look as though they're fairly tightly put on the tree, but some of them, I know from last year, we left what we had on there and we lost them all because they gradually fell off. And because they're made of glass, they just fell off onto the concrete underneath and were all smashed to bits, which was a shame. But by the look of it, the same thing will probably happen this year. I'm not quite sure how windy it's going to get. It's been quite windy the last few hours, but it may possibly be calming down a bit, and we are quite sheltered here where we don't get much. Well, we do get the weather, but we don't perhaps get it quite as fierce because we are sort of tucked away between buildings and things. So it's quite good. And it's got to be really, really hard, fierce wind. Otherwise, don't even hear wind much. I can sort of hear it a little bit now, but yeah. But there you go. So, what topic can we do today? I haven't got anything much thoughts in my head for anything at the moment, and I haven't really heard any news much yet today, so don't really know what's going on in the world. Probably not a lot different to what it has been for quite a little while now. But watching the television here, it doesn't seem to be coming up with anything unless I put it on to, let's see if I put it on to something else. What guide? Put it on to there. So, okay, protests again in London. Come on, take that off. I'm trying to take it. Aye, that's better. Whoa. So, Ida Crass, I'm watching Monty Python. Oh, gosh. Weren't they great? Monty Python. I, funnily enough, watched the parrot sketch that he did, the dead parrot sketch, because that's been on YouTube in forever, I think. and it is still just as comical, however many times you listen to it. It's absolutely, some of it is a bit stupid, but yes, it was my. And what was the other one? Yeah, I think that is probably better. And the other really, really good sketch that I like is the Ronnie Corbett sketch with the 4 candles. When they're going into the shop and he's asking for things. in the one behind the counter is sort of getting all the wrong stuff, like the 4 candles. And they put in 4 candles, don't he, on the counter, and he goes, no, fork handles for forks. Yeah, they are good. This is it, absolutely. This is what gives it its charm. And I know perhaps in some ways it's not a bad thing, because you shouldn't make a joke and laugh about other things and other people in that. But some of the comedians were so extremely funny, and you look at it now and you think that is so wrong, but it was so funny. And I mean, as far as the things that I see on our television now, you don't get a comedy show or a comedian anything like they were, like back in the, what would it have been, 60s and the 70s, I suppose. So, that would sort of take us nearly 40, 50 years ago. And one or two of the comedians that I have listened to, very few, I'm afraid I don't find them funny at all. Oh, it's fun to make the Saturday. Yeah. Dame Edna Everage. Oh, gosh, yes. Barry Humphries. Yeah. And he also, because there was a sketch I was watching with him the other day. Oh, God. Was he the Prime Minister of somewhere? Or the president of somewhere? He was some top-notch politician. He was pretended to be. But no, his Dame Edna, we used to have a regular program of him on our television. I think probably that was the sort of thing that would be put on a weekend. Yeah. But we don't get any of that. Weekends here, sometimes weekends here, I don't put that television on at all. Might probably put it on late at night for the news, like the 10 o'clock news or something like that, just to keep up with what was going on. But I mean, as well, with stuff like Netflix and Amazon Prime and all the other streaming channels that you can get. Yeah. What am I watching at the moment? I picked up a film. I've got 2 or 3 things on the go, and I've sort of stopped them halfway through and thought, let's look for something else. I've just finished watching a series called Darkwater. That was quite good. I'm watching a film at the moment called The Gift. The man playing one of the characters there, his face is so familiar. I can't place him, though. Excuse me, losing my voice. But I keep looking at him and I keep thinking, you're in something else I'm watching. And I can't catch on to it at the moment. But yeah, this film I'm watching called The Gift. and it's getting a little bit spooky. And you know, this is how my brain goes, whatever was dark water about? I'm going to have to refresh my memory on it, but I will as soon as I can. I tell you whose name comes up for it is hang on, I'm just saying there was a trend. What is Dark Water a good movie? What is Netflix Dark Water about? No, that's not. It's coming up, but it's not coming up. Then I think there must have been 2 Dark Waters, because this one I'm looking at now, I don't think is the one that I watched. No, that is just a film. The Dark Water I watched was a series. And it's not Dark Waters, it's Dark Water. Dark Water 2002, that looks more like it. Oh no, that's not it either. Well, this is weird. This one says it's a mother and her 6-year-old daughter moving into a creepy apartment, but that's not what I watched. So whatever did I watch then? Well, all I know is I think it was in about 4 or 6 episodes, and it is pretty watchable. But it's no good if I can't tell you. Come on, stop. It keeps coming. Dark Water 2005 film. And it says horror mystery here again. No, and this is not what I watched. Wow, weird. This is absolutely weird. I'm really sorry about this. This is an OAP's brain for you. And I've only just finished watching it. Trying to start a new life, move into a spooky apartment. Do you know what? I'm going to have to go and relook at it again. It's telling me it's a horror about a girl and her little one moving into a spooky apartment. Never played. I lived. On YouTube. Yeah, the film I'm watching at the moment called The Gift. And this couple, quite an affluent couple, have moved into this really luxurious apartment. And this man introduced himself while they were out shopping, saying that he was an old school friend of her husband's. But there's something definitely off about it all. He's up to something, obviously, and he is doing funny things like leaving them little gifts on their doorstep and filling their fish pond up with fish for them and doing all these sorts of things when they're out. And Yeah, it will be interesting to see exactly what he's going on. He's just been told by the husband, we don't want you to come to our house anymore. So we will see what happens on that. But that is just a straightforward film. And then I'm also watching The Lionesses. That is a elite group of people, men and women, who are in like an SAS type group that are over in somewhere like Syria, and the missions that they've got to do and stuff. That's quite good. But I can't understand that dark water one. I really cannot. What I am going to do here is, I'm not sure. I don't like a mystery. I've got to find out about it. No, come on, I don't want you. I want. Let's see if we can. Oh. No, that's not right. Do you know, I hate these blinking things where you've got to put in the name. I always go on the wrong letter, and then it comes up looking something ridiculous. Okay, I want a dark there. I'm just taking a punt that it's in Netflix, but I don't think it is. We will soon find out, won't we, peoples? You've got some storms coming. Well, they have forecasted for here for bad weather, I think, over the weekend. Actually, I have made a complete boo-boo of this. It was not called Dark Waters. It was called Dark Winds. And it was based in 1971 at the Navajo Tribal Police area. And they are, I think, investigating some, not only some murders, but some bank heists or something as well. That was a good thingy. Yeah. I found it, but it wasn't what I told you. Ha ha! Dark Wind. Yeah. It's got a Navajo Indian background to it. Yeah. Okay. Have you played Skyrim? Yes. The Navajo Police. You see it now. Yeah. Yes, I've played Skyrim. Played Skyrim years ago. And I think I did put it into my console. But that was a game, wasn't it? Skyrim. Gosh, yes. That was pretty good. I'm sure I put it in. I'm sure I put it into the, if it was available to put into the PS5. I'm just having a look up on the shelf here because I've probably got the disc up there somewhere. I cannot see it at the moment, but I'm fairly certain it's up there somewhere. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Am I going to do a playthrough on Skyrim? Well, I hadn't thought about it, but I mean, yeah, possibly. I will have to. I will have to sort of look into it and see what is gonna. Are you going to rest? Yeah, and then to get, I should be back in bed. Oh, Ida Cross, please, please don't not do what you need to do. Yeah, that might be something I could chase up at some time. But I tell you, I think I said yesterday, I'm hoping to get the Silent Hill. What is it, a remake or a remastered or something like that? My grandson's got it, and he said it's pretty good. It's a tad challenging, but I think he's been sat at it probably constantly since he's got it, because he was saying last night that he near enough finished it, but that it was fairly challenging in places. So I'm in the process of getting that. Bruno, hi, Bruno, hi. Welcome. We're not talking about anything much at the moment. We are just sort of dithering along on any little thing. I've got a, I think probably Will's would laugh at this. This is totally nothing to do with games at all, but this is how weird something is. I had a letter yesterday from a place called Specsavers. If anybody knows, Specsavers is the eye place down in the high street here. And I went, well, it's exactly a week ago. I went last Friday, not this Friday just gone, but the Friday before, and had an eye test because they were sending me messages on my phone saying I was due to have an eye test. So I went there and I've done it. And then yesterday I had a letter, and it said, let me get the letter to remind me of what. I mean, this to me is, somebody is just not on the ball at all, are they? It says you've got a free NHS test. I get a free test because I'm diabetic. And it is due on the 29th of the 8th. So June, July, August, September, October, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Yes. So the 8th month is August. So we're now in October. Haha. So I'm eligible for this eye test on the end of August. Right. Then I look at the date that the letter was done, and the letter was done on the end of September. So how do they work that out? And I received the letter in October. Weird. There you go. and I was thinking, I don't know why, but I thought of Will's when I thought of this, because this is the sort of thing that he'd laugh at. Right. So what else has been going on? Right. Yeah. Yeah, Charlie. You have my thoughts, Charlie, as well. You've been doing Medea. Well, aye. Erica. Erica. That's Ida Crass, isn't it, Erica? Well, we're getting a lot of American news through here at the moment. Yeah. Not really saying much what it's about, but some sort of protest going on somewhere. They say in Colombia, but don't look like a protest to me. It just looks like people shopping. Yeah. There's somebody singing, rapping, probably. It's very bright and colourful, isn't it? Some of the stuff these countries do makes us look so dull and boring. Yeah. Neptune. Hello, Neptune. So, Bloodborne is pretty good. I like that. The Bloodborne got me into the Dark Souls things. Because so I'd got Dark Souls stuff before and had sort of given up after playing for an hour or two and not being able to do much. Bloodborne seemed to sit better with me. And I was sort of getting it more or less okay. That's what made me go back to Dark Souls. And from Dark Souls, it led on to Elden Ring. I'm just looking at all this stuff here. Is this Colombia? They seem to just be drug trading right out in the open, in the street. Whoa. Nio, yeah, I did Nio. Now I cannot remember what Nio was like, and I can't remember if I finished it. Maybe I've still got it around somewhere. There are protests everywhere, Bruno. Apparently there's been quite a big protest up in London. So far, they've arrested 175 people. But they were saying the other day, 99% of these protests that have been coming up about now in various towns and cities over here have been extremely peaceful. Yet the police seem to manage to arrest a few. Yeah. Manchester, hey, Rain fan. Well, the count has gone up to exactly how many people have been injured. But the really, really bad thing is, which I suppose it showed how frantic and frenetic it was, that a man that was trying to hold the doors of the synagogue closed so that the attackers couldn't get in, was shot by the police by accident. But I suppose that just goes to show how crazy mad it can get, and possibly so difficult to identify the good ones against, the attackers. But I think, did they say there's about 4 people still in hospital and 2 have definitely died? I don't know. And I think possibly one of the men, the man with the knife that was going around trying to stab people, I think the police shot him. But there was a man in a car that just wanted to mow everybody down in the street. And I think only one person got hurt through that. But then they've been to a place, they obviously got some information about where the ones where their homes were, because they went to the homes and they've arrested quite a handful of people. But now it's gone all quiet again. Whether they will give out much more. This is what happens with our news. Hey, Michelle. Hi. Yeah. You're gonna get some bad weather, are you, Bruno? Yeah. It's been it was very windy here, but I just suddenly realised the wind has stopped now. Yeah. That we're trying to hold the door shut. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's really bad. It sounds bad when they say that the police shot an innocent man, but the problem was they couldn't see what was behind the door, possibly. And with chaos that goes on in situations like that, yeah, the police do the best they can. The Storm Army, are they, Bruno? Aha. This is the first windy weather we've had here for quite a while. It's been fairly calm and yeah. The police, of course, the police didn't mean to shoot him. Like I say, when you get such a kerfuffle like that, it's possible that people will get shot, and probably not the right one. Yeah. Okay. They must feel awful. Of course they must, yeah. Because let's face it, they are only doing their job, aren't they? Yeah. So whatever's just going to sorry, I'm still just watching. I'm not quite sure what they're talking about here. I think it's about Colombia and about the drug trade. And our reporter chappie here, he's standing in the middle of a field that's growing a lot of greenery. It doesn't look like cannabis plants, but it may be. Now he's going through the jungle. Yes, it's going to come up. Bogota, Colombia. Are they celebrating something? It looks like they are. Gosh, yes. It's a great crowd of people watching some performers. Gosh. Like I say, it makes us lot look like a dull old lot. Whatever it is they're celebrating, they've got like a market out and everything. Ooh. So. Hang on, I just gotta. I will not be a second. Just give me a little minute. I've just got to do something here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Da, da, da. Mm-hmm. Sorry, just talk amongst yourselves a bit. Well, the federal. Oh, I suppose I better just answer back to this. Mm-mm. Okay. Well, the federal government shut down here due to budget impasse with the opponent not willing to compromise with said children. Yeah, I think I'll probably believe. I've always said, you know, they're all the same. They're like kids in the playground having a spat. Honestly, and sometimes it makes you wonder if they got one brain cell between the whole lot of them. Yeah. Mm, yeah. They do. Yeah. You know, I will never forget a few years back now when Tony Blair was our prime minister, and he was in a debate. And at the time, people were having problems with getting appointments in their surgeries to see their doctors. And this, now going back a few years, it tells you how long this NHS problem we've got has been going along. And, you know, it's the same as a lot of other stuff. This happened a few years back and there's still been no solution to any of it. Anyway, he was in this discussion, this debate with the, you know, with the public. And he didn't know. And he was absolutely flabbergasted when a woman in the audience said to him, "Can you not do something so that we can get appointments at the surgery to see our doctors?" And he didn't realize that what was happening, that people couldn't get appointments to see their doctors. He didn't even know anything about it. And then again, I sort of looked at him in amazement and I thought, my gosh, you're the prime minister. You certainly don't keep your ear to the ground. Oh, you would blood. Oh gosh, gosh. This 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 government, I will be very surprised if they end up doing their full term as our government. Really, I'm very surprised. I don't think Keir Starmer has a clue. Once or twice I've seen him on the television and the look on his face, it's like he's a rabbit in the headlights. Really not any idea at all. It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah. Still, at least it looks like President Trump is managing to get a few steps forward with all that's going on in Gaza with Hamas and Israel. It looks very much like they might be reaching some sort of conclusion. Again, I'm just watching this on the television. They've just, police, again, this is still Colombia, and this is all to do with they're trying to get some drug people arrested. And this group of police, Colombian police. God, they were trying to get into the house. They were trying to knock the front door down. They had a right old job. Made it look like it was made of reinforced concrete. But they've eventually got in, found a woman and some children, but nothing else. Well, but at least the police can be seen out on the streets. It's what we need in this country, a few more police being seen out on the streets. I've said many times before, when I was a youngster, you'd have a policeman on foot patrolling down through the town every night. And we were absolutely scared stiff of him. You know, he had a face that looked like he'd been bitten by a bulldog, or whatever it is they say, a bulldog that swallowed a wasp, isn't it? Yeah, my God, he had a face and a physique on him. But nobody challenged him for anything. Yeah. Wow. Well, I don't know. What else can we... I'm not going to lie. I'm not that much for Trump, but some other things is... What I like about Trump is that he's always talking. He's always telling. Whereas our lot, they don't say nothing. They won't come out and say, oh, you know, this is happening, so this is what we're going to do to try and put it right. You know, they don't give impromptu discussions or give anybody information. At least he does that. And I like the way even when he's going to sign something, he'll have a whole group of press and cameras and everything else around him to show exactly what he's doing. Maybe some of it's right, maybe some of it's wrong, but, you know, that's only for him to decide, isn't it? You bits of trigger, yeah. Until it cry, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they said about Trump, that he's a traitor, he's a and when he was going on about that time back along when he was going to put all these tariffs in on goods that were coming into America from all these different countries, and the amount of tariffs he was going to put on each one, you know, and it was said then that that's how he's always worked through his life with everything that he's got. That's how he is. That is his methods. He gets attention. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say. He gets attention. And, you know, I'm sure that maybe our lot would be a little bit better liked if they were a little bit more upfront and possibly explain why they're not doing what they promised to do to get themselves elected, because they have so gone against everything. And I really, really can't understand how Starmer can stand up there with the face like he's got and not you know, have some embarrassment about him. But there you go. It is what it is. Yeah. I think we all should gather in a little gang together. We could soon put it all to rights, couldn't we? Hey. He's given the UK discount. Yeah. Well, yeah, the thing is with Trump in this country, I suppose it may go a little way with him, but the fact that his mother was Scottish, wasn't she? So he has got sort of links to this country. And then plus the fact that he thinks he likes the royal family so much. So it just made his day when he was invited to come over and see the king. Yeah. I don't think he's so happy with our prime minister as he was because of some of the things that is going to be done or said or something. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Must be sent the. Oh, well, yes, they're going to, aren't they? Yeah. Of course they got to blame someone else. You know, they were in there. They were put in as our government to sort out anything that wasn't right, in regardless of what it was that they came into, by pointing the finger and blaming the lot that went before isn't going to put things right. And surely they should stop pointing the finger and put things right. Hmm. Oh, the toilet seat. Well. Oh, Lord. Well, for a start, you see, it wasn't going to get done until the weekend. And then I think Ida Crash, you heard me saying, was it on yesterday's stream? Did you not hear me saying what happened to our loo seat? Yeah, I mean, my husband went in. Yeah, my husband, he went in the bathroom. I heard this noise. I thought, what the hell has he done now? Because wherever he goes, there's always a bang or a crash or a clatter or something. Even when he's very good. He washes up. But you'd never believe the chips and cracks I've got on my crockery now that I never had before. He is so heavy-handed. But when I heard this in the bathroom, I thought, oh my God, he's fallen down. He's hit his head. He's collapsed. So, coward I am. I'm sat here and I'm thinking, I'm not going in there. Yeah, and anyway, I waited for just a minute or two. Not even as long as a minute, I don't think. And I heard movement in there. And I thought, oh, he must be all right if he's moving about. And then he comes out the door with 2 bits of plastic in his hand. Oh, it was quite funny. I wish I'd filmed it. And he goes, I've broken the toilet seat. Yeah, well, he went and got another one last night, and he was going to leave it to the weekend to put it on. But then he started unpacking it. And before I realised it, he was fiddling and fussing around to do it. Oh, man. Yeah, that was. Yeah. Yeah. Well, just to finish this story first, and I'll tell you about the wall. Um, it only took about half an hour or so to work out where to put two washers and a screw. And, he's always got to try and turn things around another way. When I say to him, you put the big washer first, then you put the little washer, you put the soft plastic type washer, then you put the metal type washer. You don't put the metal washer first because it's smaller for a start. And not only that, it'll rub up against the other plastic bit that you're trying to secure, and it will rub it until it rubs it and wears it away. So you put the soft plastic to the soft plastic, then you put the metal one, and then you put the screw in. Oh no, before you do that, you put the nail down the hole and then you screw it up underneath. Only took half an hour to work all that out. And that's, oh, yeah. Need a sitcom, honestly. Anyway, yeah, it's been done, it's done. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's okay, it's fine. No, but, oh, falling off the wall, that was really nasty, the wall one. Because we've got out our back. If you come out the back door, you're sort of, you're just sort of there. Then we got about 4 steps up on the left-hand side that goes into a higher bit. And that's sort of like concreted, and we've got a bit of square earth in the middle of it where we should have nice flowers and things planted instead of weeds and more weeds and more weeds. But at the time, I mean, this was a few years back now, I think, wasn't it? We had weeded out the gardeny bit, and he'd gone down again to the supermarket somewhere, and he bought some plants, some flowers to put in it. So he gets up on the bit, and he's sitting on. We've got a plastic stool, and he's sitting on the stool, and he's bending over, and he's putting a plant in. Then he's going back, and then he's getting another plant. And every time he goes back, he's pushing the stool he's sitting on back, and it's going back. And I happened to look out the window to see how he was getting on, and the stool was a millimeter, if that, away from the edge of the wall, and it's just a drop down. And I'm thinking to myself, if I shout at him, if I shout at him and say, don't move, he'll look at me and go, what? What are you talking about? So I'm thinking to myself, get downstairs as quick as you can. And at the time, we had Carl downstairs. And as I'm halfway down the stairs, I'm hearing Carl shouting at me, Grandmum's Granddad's had an accident. And I knew immediately, as soon as I got down there, he's on the floor. And he's fallen about, what's it, a couple of feet, 3 feet off of the concrete onto concrete. Yeah. So he sort of scraped himself up a little bit. But there's about 3 meters. Yeah. Rather, it was, yeah. Yeah. And that was the time when, I don't know, was that? Yeah. It's time I went. The day is finished. I was trying to think. Actually, Michelle, Carl phoned twice to get an ambulance. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think, had COVID just finished then? But they wouldn't let anybody go. Yeah. Carl. It was Carl. Carl was quite concerned. Yeah. But that was round about the COVID time, or just after. Anyway, I've got to go now. Yeah. So, okay. So, I hope everybody's okay, Michelle. Yeah. Yeah, because we're getting water through. We've got to check to see because it's been raining. And that's why that wall is like it is, because we get water through. Yeah.
Not as much as it was.
And it's not as bad as it was. No. No, well, I think it's stopped raining now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's not as windy either. But okay. Okay. Rain comes, yeah. Just the wall it starts to get wet. Yeah, that's why it's gone a funny colour. It's supposed to be white. It was painted white, but that's why it's going a funny colour. Just a little bit. This is the first time for a while, Michelle. It's been really quite good up until today. And sometimes I think it's the way the wind comes, the way the wind blows. Might blow it in somewhere. Yeah. Okay, I got to go now anyway. And sort out some tea or whatever. So, thank you, everybody. And, yeah, you'll take care. Yeah, thank you, Ida Crass. And everyone else. And I'll be back on Monday. Have a good weekend. Yeah. Take care of yourselves. Look after yourselves. And until the next time. Here we go.